We rewrote just one page and it started to bring in clients. Let me tell you the story. So this was for a B2B service business that already had traffic coming into their site. It just wasn't turning into anything like useful. So they had this core service page and it was getting about 2,500-ish visits a month, but it was bringing in only 1 or 2 inquiries, maybe every couple of months at best. When we looked at it, the issue wasn't really like the writing quality. It was the structure of the page and the intent behind it. You see, the page was targeting a really broad informational keyword, and the headline was very vague, and it was like, what is X, rather than the services that they offered. People who were landing on the page weren't really at that stage in their buying journey where they were actually ready to buy. And then even compounding that issue, once they got to that page, there wasn't anywhere there they could start to engage more and follow on from that journey. So let me explain that a little bit more. There was like a long heading, a really long intro, it explained the topic, but then there was no section that spoke directly to the type of clients that they wanted. This what is, there was no like problem solution, there was no proof, there was no examples, and the call to action, and this is something that I see so often, it was buried right at the bottom of the page. On top of this, there was no internal links guiding people to like related pages, no case studies, no supporting blogs. There was nothing that really connected that page into a wider funnel. So we reworked it. First, we shifted the keyword focus from an informational one, which is what is, to a commercial one. That commercial keyword included the service, and that was actually what the audience that they wanted to work with was searching when they were typing that into Google. Then we rewrote the headline and opening so that immediately spoke to that buyer. And instead of a general definition, it became really clear who the page was for and the problem that the service has solved. We added sections that answered the actual questions that a potential client would have, like pricing expectations, timelines, what work together looks like, and why it's a good fit. And then we built in internal links to supporting blog posts so that they could learn a little bit more about that if they weren't quite ready to buy yet. We changed the call to action from a vague like get in touch with us if you want to learn more kind of thing to book a strategy call. And what they would get from that call, that's so important. People often ask you to book a call, but if you're not adding the value and explaining the value of that call, you're not going to get bookings. We didn't change the design, we didn't change the offer, we didn't make any changes to the actual services that they do. We just made this page do its job properly. And then within about 8 weeks, that same page went from 1 or 2 inquiries a month to around 5 to 10. So that was a huge change just in a couple of weeks. Most importantly though, they were actually the right kind of inquiries, and this client has already closed 2 leads from that page over the last couple of months. So if you've got pages on your site that are getting views and not turning into leads, the bottom line is that that's usually a strategy issue, not a traffic issue.